Hey guys, we're back with another video, and today we're discussing the true definition of acting as if. I'm Saria.
And I'm Kara.
If you haven't already, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Also, check us out on IG and TikTok at QueenConvos. So let's get into our tips for this topic. Tip number one. Acting as if doesn't mean you are untruthful with the external world.
Don't do that. Don't walk around like because people are gonna think you're crazy. They're not ready for it, right? Like you can think it in your mind, but you don't want to be walking around like telling people you are married or you have 7 kids because they'll be like, let's see pictures. Let me see pictures. Like they don't get it. You don't have to do that. It's kind of like that confidence vibe that it just emits from you. You don't have to tell people that you're confident. They just know it. It's kind of like that, right?
Right, it is. So I've had a conversation with a few people, and it's almost they're acting as if. I think it crosses the line of what that statement means. I think there's a big misconception about that. Like Kara was saying, that doesn't mean that you go around telling a story that's untrue to other people. That means that you embody the state of what your desire is, but that's within you. That's an internal thing. That's not something that you go out and blast to the world and act as if something that has not come to full fruition is actually there. That's not what that means. So we wanted to discuss this topic because I've seen that quite a bit recently. So yeah. You have anything else
Yeah.
to add to number one?
Well, like, if you're I know in the manifestation community, there's a lot of misinterpretation of what that means. So they'd be like, yeah, if um, you act as if you're married. So if you were living together, you'd be married, right? So you clear out your closet space and empty out drawers for your significant other, or wear a wedding ring and walk around like blinged out. And it's like, it, first of all, I mean, like I thought about it, right? And I was like, I
What we're
need all my closet space. Like I
oh gosh.
need all of it, right? I need my drawer space. Um, and when the time comes, then I'll figure it out. But like that's not gonna make me get what I want. Like that's not gonna put me in the mindset of um that's where his things are going to go. That's more going to stress me out because now I'm not going to have, now stuff's going to be a mess because I'm going to have an empty drawer with stuff on the side or somewhere in a box that I need to use. Like it doesn't make sense. Like,
And
so,
who's to say that you don't move into his house or that you all don't buy a house together?
right. And
So
like, I
yeah,
get that, like, they're saying, like, because it'll bring you the feeling of it. But sometimes that doesn't work. So people that are looking for like techniques to do to get them in the feeling of it or to convince their mind that that's actually true and it's actually happening, sometimes it doesn't work. So again, like that's what you have to find what works for you. But even like the ring on the finger, right? Like um sometimes you can, like I would do that if I didn't want anyone to talk to me. Like, leave me alone if I went out. Like, don't talk to me. I'm taken. But then sometimes it works against you, and then they're like, that's a turn on for some guys. And so,
yeah, it is. It
so it's
is.
like, you know, but then also like if you're wearing it, and sometimes you're like, because you're trying to be like, I'm married, like you're looking at it and you're like, but I'm not. This is
Yeah.
not true and this is a lie. And so
Now
then you
that's
feel like
when,
shit.
yeah, and then you start feeling like you have imposter syndrome.
Yeah. And then also then people ask you like, "Oh, what's going on? Are you engaged?" Oh, and then they start asking questions and then you don't have any answers because what are you going to tell them? I'm pretending to be married.
Yeah.
Like, so that's not what that means.
Right. Now to caveat that, if you just like wearing a ring on that finger, because sometimes I do,
Yeah.
whatever. But if that's, I don't know, if that's your way of putting all your hope into acting as if, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. That's my belief though. So,
Same.
so okay. So number 2. So how do you act as if? Work on your mindset, which allows you to start embodying a new persona. And so what Kara and I are getting at with this is all of the things you can wear a ring. If you want to clear your closet out, you can do that also. The root of it is your mindset shifting. It's not you doing the physical things. When you shift how you're thinking about things, your perspective on things, that's when everything else shifts. You don't have to do an action for something to happen. You don't have to clear your closet out and a man is magically going to come. Like, that's not what happens. The point of why people do that is because it's supposed to help them get in the mind state of they have the husband there. But I think a lot of times people do that void of the mindset shift. They do the action without doing the internal work. And it really boils down to you have to change your mindset and shift your thoughts on stuff. That's the root of it. You don't have to wear a ring. You don't have to clear your closet out. If you can go internally and begin to change the habits that the way that you think about things, your perception of things, that's when you start seeing things come to fruition. So,
Yeah, it's like if you that's saying you don't get what you want, you get what you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that means. It's like you're wanting for something, you're wanting for it because you don't have it, because you are not it yet. So in your mind, you have to live in your mind as though you are that confident person. You are married, you are loved, you are all the things that you want. You have to become them, but you can't just do it. Like,
Right.
you have to have a thought before you can have that feeling. So you can't just automatically easily feel into it if you are not that. And I think that's another thing that people misinterpret too. It's like, well, you have to have the thought before you have the feeling. You have to convince your subconscious mind that you are those things that you want to be. But that takes a lot of persistency and consistency. And really, it's all just, it's a mindset shift and ignoring like everything showing you that it's not that. And when you can get to that point where nothing, whatever is happening, doesn't matter to you, it doesn't mean that you're not getting to where you want to be. It doesn't mean you're not getting what you want. It just means that this is part of your journey or your bridge or your, to get from one point to the other. So again, it's just you're changing your mindset.
Yeah. So the third tip is ignore things that are contrary to the goal and stay focused on your end despite what you currently see.
Yeah.
That's
So basically,
that can be hard sometimes.
it's really hard. It's we talk about it, right? Like we're like, this is what you have to do, and this is the way to do it. And it's like, yeah, but this is happening and this hurts. This is painful. This is not familiar. This is annoying. Like, why can't it just change? Why can't I have it now? Like,
Exactly.
um, it's one of those things that just takes time. Like you plant the seed and you water it and you take care of it and you have to let it grow. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Like sometimes if you plant something or like even grass, think of grass, like you put the grass seed out and you water it and it seems like overnight it just sprouts up.
Mm.
So it could just be like all of the little things in your life are like different kinds of plants. And like one thing just takes like a second. One thing takes a day, some take weeks, months. Um, that's just how, I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it. It takes time to grow.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I think sometimes I'm not telling you to tell, all your business to someone, but I think it is helpful to have an accountability partner to talk you off the ledge.
Mm,
Because sometimes when you see things that are contrary to what you want to react. And sometimes those reactions are not, they are not going to be helpful in you getting your end goal. That doesn't mean you're not going to get it, but you don't want to throw more obstacles in your path than you have to experience. And sometimes our mouth and our actions can get us into trouble.
mm-hmm.
So I think it's very good to have an accountability partner that can kind of knock you upside the head figuratively and, just put you back in check. I think that's very helpful. I think sometimes having an accountability partner can help as far as encouragement. It might not be that you want to fight someone, but something may have hurt you and you're overreacting to it. And I think having a trusted person, keyword trusted, you don't want to tell everybody your stuff. Um, I think I think that's I think is very necessary.
100%. Someone like-minded, someone that's, you know, not going to be necessarily biased. They're not going to put you down. They're not going to be like, oh, don't count your chickens before they hatch and don't get ahead of yourself and it's too good to be true. And no, we don't want that. Don't, because they're projecting their feelings on you and their fears on you. And they're kind of like your ego in a way, because your ego wants to keep you safe, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. And remember that time that happened? This is just like that time. It's going to happen again. We can't
Mm-hmm.
have that, right? So whoever you choose to be that person, make sure that um, it's like you could tell them anything and you feel as though they can kind of like they're in your mind even though they're not.
Yeah.
So that,
And
yeah.
I think that's really important. I had to basically rebuke what someone said to me the other day. It was I was already feeling very defeated about something, and I talked to someone, and this is a loved one. It wasn't like a malicious type thing, but it was just like, oh, you know, just in case it doesn't happen. And like I sat there and I listened to it for a little while, and it was like I just started feeling lower and lower and lower. And then like mentally, I'm like, I don't have to accept this. And I told the person, I'm just like, everything you just said, I love you, but I rebuke that. That's not going to be my experience. And I'm not choosing to listen to this anymore. And then later on, that person came back and they apologized and they thought it was very inspiring that I was able to snap both of us out of that negative mindset. So Yeah, I think you have to watch that also.
Yeah.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Follow us on IG and TikTok at QueenConvos, and we'll see you in the next video. Until next time,
Stay classy
and sassy.